I can't get you to focus. I just need to know your motives. You already know I'm broken. It's like you never noticed. You're stuck in hypnosis. I'm stuck feeling hopeless. I watch you getting drunk on us whilst I sit here sober. I feel so alone, even when I'm with you. That's why I wanna get away, but you asked me to stay, and I can't say no. I can't say no to you. That's why I wanna get away, but you asked me to stay, and I can't say no. I can't say no to you. I can't say no. I just can't say no. I just can't say no. You're doing this on purpose, so pretty on the surface, but a devil underneath. Now you got me
All this aggravation and satisfaction. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. You just didn't wait
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. More Major 1 action. Premiere is here, which means it's going to be a fun, different format. We have less teams. We have more competition. We have more, hopefully, shots like the one that just appeared on your screen. Regardless, I am excited. It's going to be a good one. And I have Zoms with me. I'm excited to see how it goes.
There.
We'll get to the gameplay eventually, right? We'll be there eventually.
Yeah, pretty soon here. We got a pretty interesting format here, Stewie, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a fun day. It's gonna be a sweaty, greasy, stinky, farty, fast-paced. Yeah, it's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a fun day. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here. But we need to update everybody on standings before we actually get into the group stage and everything itself. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. You see who's on top, you see who's on the bottom. A couple of teams are 0-3 on the very bottom of the leaderboard. Unfortunate, but they will get a good chance of today of winning some series. And it's interesting, Zoms, because some of the games are a little bit different, but we'll see what ends up happening. Yeah, standings on your screen. That leads into what we're doing today, which is this, a group stage where we have 5 teams in each group. There are 2 groups and some pretty good chances to grab some points. Lumberjacks, Outlaws, Buffalo, Derecho, and Rhythm in Group B. Group A is the Victory, the Knights, the Superiors, the Maulers, and Flyers, and they are ordered by seed. So Green Bay are in the number 3, Brainerd are in the number 1 seed, and Bemidji are in the number 2. They are in Group B, obviously. But on the right-hand side, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And on the left, you have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now, how will this work? Well, we want to show you what format we're playing today. It was popularized with the FIFA World Cup. And teams essentially are going to play each other in their group one time. Top 2 from each group advance. You get a point per game win. It's essentially a best of 2, but you're going to play both of the games. And Zoms, you win one of those games, you essentially get a point from it. You know, you can tie; they are a possibility. If you win both of the games, you claim both the points, and the team you just played gets nothing. One thing to keep in mind is, since we have 5 teams per group, there will be essentially a moment where one team will not have a series. They will have essentially a bye round, but they won't get any points from it. Every team will have that at least once in the 5 rounds that are played today. But you get a point for berthing into the semifinal. That is essentially, you get a point and you get top 2. If you win that semifinal series, you get 4 points. And you'll get another point for going into the grand finals. And then you'll get 6 points for winning the whole thing. The max amount of points sums, if you go 8-0 essentially in games today, is 20 points.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if we'll see that. It'll be a good chance for teams to get that opportunity. But it'll be excited to see what ends up happening here today. And I guess we can recap the other majors for a second. But on Thursday night, it was the Fargo Steelhawks that won the major for Rising Star. That is the 14 seed, I believe, that took the whole thing. Crazy run from them. They took out the number 6, the number 11. They took out the number 3 seed, number 11. Number 2 seed and the number 4 seed on the way to that win on Thursday night. So congratulations to them. The big story I see was that the 14 seed winning the whole thing. But and then on Friday night, last night, we had the Omaha Buffalo, and they were the number 6 seed, ran through the whole bracket, beating the 11, 14, 2, and 4. And one thing we saw on the top side, the 16 seed Burnsville Inferno beating the number 1 seed Chicago Jungle. So huge for them. And number 5 seed Rochester Rhythm also lost to Bemidji. See in the middle there. But Omaha won the major for Challenger. And we will see who wins the major for Premier. As it's only, we only have 3 matches there, so shouldn't be too difficult. But I'm excited to see what happens here, Zoms. It's going to be a good day. And do you have any predictions today? Do you think there's going to be I want to know from you. Do you think there's going to be a team that's going to go 8-0?
I just don't think so. There's so much Rock League to be played. Eventually, a team I expect to have a slight slip up, or just another team having a great, an amazing game. I just think there's so many good teams in your bracket. It's going to be almost impossible to go 8-0. But if you do go 8-0, not only do you get the 8 points there, you get the extra point for just birthing into the set. I mean, those 9 points will bring you so far in this season. It's ridiculous. And I think if you go far in this Major 1 format, I think you're going to be looking good for the rest of the season.
100%. Yeah. I can see that. And we are going to be hopping into a series in just a second. I'm getting lobby info from all the players as they make their lobbies and get their matches going. But no cams, unfortunately, not until the semis. Apologies for that, friends. But we'll pull those up when it comes time. But
do you think there's going to be a team that goes 8-0?
That's a great question, because it's a good prediction, right? I mean, we could sit here and do what we want, as far as, one team's going to go 8-0, one team's going to go 9-0, whatever, I think it'll be interesting for sure, because there's a good chance. There's a really good chance, actually. But I really think it's going to come down to a team going probably 7-1. Or 6-2. Probably 6-2 is the safer bet. But as you can see in the top left, the series we're going to be getting into is the Green Bay Knights and the Brainerd Victory. No cams, unfortunately, until semifinals. But I'm loading on into this game. And it should be a good one. And I'm excited to see what happens here, Zoms. Should be fun Rocket League nevertheless. And as we jump into this, it will be interesting because it is 1-1, and it is a close series so far. You have got the Victory and the Knights, and I hit H too many times. Whoopsies. Let me fix that.
I think one thing that we can do is we could try predicting which team do we think will be the one that will go 8-0 or 7-1 or be on the top of the bracket, because there are a lot of good teams in this format, and a lot of these teams have to go up against each other, so you have to wonder which one will end up on top. Currently, man, for each bracket, I think which group do you think is more deadly, Group A or Group B?
In my opinion, I really don't like that Group A because St. Cloud, they're the 9 seed right now, and they're on the bottom of the group. I don't think they're a 9 seed. I mean, you saw what Bloomington did with 2 subs. They'll have subs today, too. That is confirmed. So I don't know. I don't know how somebody's going to top that group, but this is the 1 seed versus the 3 to open the group. So you've got 2 teams who they know how to win.
Right.
And Green Bay in the blue, Brainerd in the orange. We'll probably check back into this series again, but this is only game 1. There's 2 games, so good chances here for sure to get some points. But on the other group, Bemidji playing Kansas City currently. That is the 2 versus the 4, and then Omaha and Des Moines kicking off shortly. But other side in Group A, you have Duluth taking on Bloomington. That would be a good one to check out soon. But I want to stick for this game and see if Green Bay can come back because they've got a really good opportunity. But yeah, it's important for either of these teams to take game 1, Zoms, because you definitely want to open with a game 1 win and then just get your point like right away and not really have to worry about it too much. But it'll be exciting nevertheless.
Yeah, and we've already seen these 2 match off in the regular season, and then Brainerd Victory did take it in 5. Pretty sure it was almost a reverse sweep though.
I think it was an attempt. Yes.
I think they went the distance and then they just barely lost in game 5. So this is definitely a matchup of titans here. But I think for me, the Brainerd have got to be the favorites either way. They've been sitting on the 1 seed for a while now. They have Skies, which in my opinion is just the best player
currently
in Prem right now.
Playing right now, yes.
Yeah, playing right
agree.
now. He's just absolutely disgusting, and you've got some really solid players around him. I think that they have to be the favorites, but we've seen time and time again that this team does not do well and they go to 5. I mean, we Brainerd Victory, they've been reverse swept. They nearly got reverse swept again, and I'm not entirely sure how their 3rd matchup went, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was another reverse sweep denial. But either way, they still have themselves the 1 seed, so it's hard to bet against them. But if they, at least they don't have to worry about game 5s, and there's only 2 games to really be played in these.
For sure. I mean, you don't have the pressure of even like a best of it's not even a best of 3. I mean, it's not even a best of anything. It's essentially just who wins the 2 games. Who gets the points, because you can play both games. Obviously, you're supposed to, but if you split with 2 teams like this who are top 3 in standings, a split to me is a win. It's like you took a point away and they got a point. I'm not against that, But where things get hairy is when you're playing a top 3 seed like this, and you're not a top 3 seed, and you don't get any points. And you want to get something out of it, but this looks to be game 1 wrapping up for Brainerd. They're going to probably earn the first point. That's an open net, and that will likely be the end of it. As we'll see what ends up happening here, but probably hop into a different series after this, Zams. But regardless, we'll see what ends up happening for sure. But yeah, that'll likely be a wrap on game number 1. As I mean, it's a good start for sure for the victory, as they will, earn their first point. You want to start off strong, like I said, and it's never a bad thing to get those points right away. But next series we're hopping in is more than likely still in game 1, or it's into game 2 by now. Is this one should be a good one. And be Duluth in Bloomington, as these guys are just starting game number 2, and I was correct. There is 1 sub on the side of Bloomington, that being T-Shag. I'll get this for you on the screen here in a second, guys. Apologies.
Yeah, luckily, with Shega hitting the floor, we saw his sub-up performance last time they played in week 1. He's kind of disgusting out there, so I think if there's one player that could be a sub up and play, I think you probably want him. So I don't think it's going to be much of a downgrade, but as long as he can play up to the level he was playing in the first week, I don't think they'll be in too much trouble. But on the other side of that, they are going up against Duluth, who I think, of course, non-biasedly, as a Duluth Superiors player myself, they're the best.
Yeah.
So I might be a little bit biased.
5 seed versus the 7. You're fine. You're well within your rights. You're on the roster. 5 seed versus the 7. I did shout out Clash. Got info from him. Duluth won game 1, so this is game number 2, and currently Duluth have the first point of the 2, and we'll see what ends up happening here. And I'm excited for sure to see how this Bloomington team does with T-Shag with their sub. No talks once again. Kind of absent. Ches with a double. Ooh, nice shot. Is backboard play. Good touch from T-Shag, but it was Ches that got the beat on Busy and then just read the drop down bounce. So great shot from him. But yeah, this is a good series to look at. Just game number 2, based on the fact that you've got good ones for sure. And
yeah, in my opinion, this maybe isn't a must win, but I do think you got to at least come out of these matches with a point, especially because the first round is the quote unquote most fair matchup for each team. You're only spaced 1 seeding differently. So, you're expected to go pretty even with them. But if you go down 0-2 with the most even matchup with you in the bracket, who knows how later matches will come when you're going up against higher seeds. We still got, you said this is a 5 and 7, so we still got the 1 and 3 seed above you that you got to worry about, and you can't really. I don't want to say it's impossible to 2-0 on them, but they're the top seeds for a reason. Ooh. And you got to work extra hard. And then many players missing. They're going off like fireworks. Shega has to put this play to a stop. He does, and now Gavalanche ripping the ball off him, looking for a flip reset, finds it, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And I do think this is maybe not a must win, but as it's so early in the tournament, but I really think these are probably the matches you don't want to go 0-2 on.
100%. Opening round, you start 0-2, you're thinking, well, we played pretty good Rocket League, but it's only 2 games, and you feel sometimes like you just didn't get into the series. Like, you kind of got a teaser for the series that wasn't supposed to, isn't there. But, what if you go 0-2 and then your bye is right after? You have to sit on an 0-2 loss with no points being earned. Not a pleasant time for sure, but this is turning out to be a good game. A minute 20, now a minute 10 left, and Bloomington looking for the split would be huge for them for getting a split with a higher seed like this, especially with a sub. You definitely want to do that. But I actually like this lineup, this team that Bloomington has put together. I mean, it's a good roster, to be honest. I think T-Shag's a player who can definitely hang at this level. I mean, we saw it in week 1 way back when his team took down Rochester. And Chez always been just a stalwart player. I mean, every season pretty much is in the competition for somebody you want on your roster to just hit the ball pretty much. Gavlage, I mean, solid 1v1 player. Can get the ball on his car pretty easily. And it'll be interesting to see how they react, but 15 seconds and Bloomington looking for a split, and I think they're well on their way unless Duluth can get something here in the last second with this last second push. But Sean, that's a huge miss with no boost. And now Forrest's got to hold the whole length of the field. Really can't do it, and that will be it. And that's a split for round number 1 for the Bloomington Maulers and the Duluth Superiors. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think, round 1 done for just about every team. We get to see the results come in here and to see who maybe went 2-0 or 0-2, or just who performed up or who performed down. I think this will set a trend for the entire event. I don't know if all the results are quite in yet. Probably teams still
I think
playing.
We're still waiting on them for sure.
Yeah, probably got a couple overtimes here and there, so, or maybe high-scoring games. To be fair, that was a pretty low-scoring game right there, so got to start out quick right there. But it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. It really will be.
No, for sure. Gonna hop into more than likely another series. Maybe we'll check out and see where another ones of these are, but see what Bemidji and KC are doing currently. I don't know if they're still in a series or if their series is over. See what ends up happening here. We got a server, so
hopefully not just someone AFK.
Okay, this is
going.
Game. I don't know who won game 1. We'll have to figure that out when we get to it, but Bemidji and Kansas City in group number B. Bemidji, the 2 seed, taking on the Outlaws, the number 4. Don't know who won game number 1, but regardless, right now, the blue team, which is KC, and Bemidji is the orange team. Currently, KC the 1-0 advantage over this Bemidji team that, we saw them on stream a couple weeks ago. Looked really good. This Bemidji team, though, no Wesley today. Looks like Solus, a sub, so could be affecting how they're playing, but I know Solus is an underrated player. Definitely somebody that can step up into Premier. I don't remember what... I believe he's the first-round pick for this Bemidji Challenger team, so I'd assume he has experience at this level somewhat, so it should help him a lot, but... full roster, though, for KC. You see Nightfang, Boo, and Cole ready to go. See what happens with them, but see what happens with the other scores so far. Zom's still waiting on anything.
Yeah, and I think this is probably one of my more... Oh, my goodness, what a run-ahead play. Cole's going to have an open net to shoot on, but Boo, the one who really sparked this play, and Nightfang as well. Just running ahead and bumping the last defender. The shot was put on just well enough, and that might just secure them their 1 point in this game. Nightfang just said they're 0-1, so they're doing this to tie it up. Good on them. This will be an absolutely huge to get that split, like you said earlier. You really, really, really do not want to go down 0-2 at the start. Barely saving off that, and I really do think this, Whether you give Mogi Mace a new player or not, it's still Mogi and Mace. They're still absolutely disgusting. And I know, like you said, you vouched for Solus. And that's going to be one. Mace is just going to fire it onto an open net. And then I believe, it was Mogi chasing after Boo. I don't know if it quite mattered. It was just a complete open net. And then as that lead cuts in half, I think things might just get interesting here.
No, for sure. But getting other info, Green Bay actually getting 2-0'd by Brainerd. So we watched game 1 for that series. Brainerd actually went on to win both games in that series. So they, I don't know what's going to happen there, but Bemidji up 1-0 over KC, like we said. So yes, this is to tie the series if you are KC. They're a minute away. Obviously Bloomington and Duluth split. Omaha gets the 2-0 win over Des Moines. Des Moines is not here. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But yeah, Duluth and Brainerd kicking off in just a bit. So we'll check out that series more than likely after this one. They just appreciate everybody dropping all the info into our channel so I can get into those series, because that Duluth Brainerd series is going to be a good one. So that one kicking off probably right now. Yeah, I think this is a big win for this KC team if they can hang on here for another 10 seconds. Bemidji and them going to split, but I think it's a bigger win for Bemidji on a sub day. Looks like they're going to pull a split in the first round, and it'll be exciting to see how it goes.
Oh, yeah,
a good chance. Nevertheless, but Bemidji and KC will split, and yeah, we'll get you all updated on the groups and stuff after. But yeah, we'll play our FIFI format rounds first, and then get to semifinal 1, excuse me, and then semifinal 2, and then that grand final will be played. Hopefully, we'll be able to stream it, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here, but next series that we're going to be pulling up in round number 2. We'll update everybody on the FIFI format rounds after this second round. But now is currently Duluth and Brainerd. And this is game number 1. And Duluth has opened the scoring first. And this is the 5 seed versus the 1 seed technically. But as Duluth takes a 2-0 lead. But I do need to get to check on ties here, as St. Cloud did. They were in so in Group A, St. Cloud were the team to sit out first. In Group B, the 10 seed Rochester Rhythm sat out first. They will play now as St. Cloud takes on Green Bay and Rochester takes on Kansas City in round number 2. So it'll be interesting to see what we get there. But this is game number 1 of round number 2. And
oh my goodness.
Duluth is dominating it.
Yeah, I can't say I'm entirely surprised, and that's only because when you see Brainerd win the first 2 games in any series, you know they're going to game 5 anyway. So if you close your eyes in that hypothetical situation, they won the first 2 games of the series, and then they always either get reverse swept or nearly reverse swept, so that means they lose the next 2. This series might not be good for them if history repeats itself. I know it's not technically the same team they're playing, but listen, the story seems to be tracking. So hopefully Brainerd can figure that out. But for me and every other Duluth Superiors fan, I am absolutely cheering us on as we're winning already 3-0. I mean, Sean so far taking over, and Busy was getting physical on the goal line. This is going to go across the box dangerously. Whitlock, of course, able to clear that out, and this one's going to be fired off across the other way. Forza slowing the pace down a little bit, but it's going to be really interesting to see so many teams going up against each other so frequent. I mean, we're going to see so many mixed matches. No, you're not really going to be able to get used to a play style of a certain team because you're immediately changing after 2 games. So I wonder, it's really going to be the teams that can adapt the best to any team they're playing, or really just play their style of Rocket League that I feel like are going to dominate.
No, for sure. Checking in, just seeing what series are kicking off. Victory, obviously Superiors, that's in Group A. The other Group A series, like I said, Knights Flyers, that one kicking off shortly. But shout out Brainerd and Duluth. They got going pretty darn early. And Lumberjacks and Buffalo on the other side, and then KC and Rochester, like I said. But currently top of the group for Group B is Omaha. They are 2-0 off of their win. They're technically 1-0-0, but they are 2-0 in their win-loss. They have 6 essentially 6 credits. So you get 3 points per or three credits, I guess. And we're not gonna really count them because they're not really too much of a tiebreaker, but they're technically the tiebreaker. They're it's like game differential essentially. I don't really know how to explain it that well, but regardless, this is it's just for 3 credits, and so far it looks like Duluth is well on their way to that. But after this game, we'll probably hop over to another matchup. But so far, theme for me is splits. I mean, we had 2 splits in that first round and 2 2-0s. So we're splitting it right down the middle, right down the split piece.
The seam.
The seam. But
man, it is turning out to be as interesting as we thought it would, and as it gets further and further out, I'm sure we're gonna have some crazy storylines pop up. But right now, it's Duluth and Brainerd, and I think Duluth are probably gonna run away with this one. I mean, they've been winning this entire game, and all they really got to do is hold on, and they're gonna be finding themselves at least with that one and pretty much putting the other team on ice. And Sean, disgusting shot from the corner, can't save that one. And man, I think this will really, especially going against the 1 seed, this game win right here is super important. Also giving Brainerd their first loss, so giving them not allowing them to get some points and stealing some points away from the 1 seed. I think that'll be super important later on.
Yeah, no, for sure. Other series kicking off currently. I'll try and get Omaha in the mix here in a second, but they're playing their series as soon as possible, as soon as humanly possible. ASA, please. But yeah, big win for Duluth so far. I mean, 40 seconds left. They're pretty darn close. But this will be Brainerd's first loss of the group stage. And like we said, Zoms, we didn't think anybody was going to be perfect, and so far that's going to reign supreme here. And I really don't think that's ever going to be possible, to be honest. I mean, you basically have to take control of the series in your hands, and
yeah, you have to be so dominant.
You have to be dominant pretty much the whole time, but I just don't see it happening. Especially in a stage like this in Premier, where there's 10 teams and teams are this solid. But yeah, that'll be game number 1 for Duluth. We'll check back in after they end off. But Duluth up 1-0 in that series, and I hit the wrong button. My bad. But regardless, next series we're checking out is an interesting one, because I want to know who is winning and what's going on. But KC and Rochester, we have not seen anything from them. I don't know if it's their full roster. I think it is, based on the submission that they sent in. But we'll see if their game 1 is just ending or if it's still going. It's an interesting map. This looks to be game number 2. We'll see what they end up saying here for a score. But yeah, I'm excited for sure. KC and Rochester on your screen, and it looks like full rosters all the way around, so that's a good sign. But tied at 1. I don't know who won game number 1, but Cole's gonna make that save on his own goal line pretty much. And I don't know, I don't know who won game 1, but we'll probably get it in this replay from Night Fang. So he looks to be typing it, hopefully.
Yeah, this is an unbelievably important game for Rochester. They're looking to get their first point in the season, let alone their first win. I think this is a good chance for them to snag a couple points, even if they don't go far in this tournament. You can still get some points. That's the good thing about this format, is that you can scrap together some points. And if you know a roster is going to make a change, and if you're one of those bottom 2 Prem teams, you probably are thinking about something. Maybe not, but if you're one of the more bottom team, you might be thinking about a change, which will be coming in the following weeks. But
It's coming tomorrow,
just
actually.
Yeah, it's coming tomorrow, but you want to scrap together as many points as you can. And in this format, you don't have to get entire series wins to get some points. You just got to get game wins. So if there's ever a time to scrap together and really just, I don't know, like pull yourself up, I mean, this is the time.
And I did get clarification on the sheet. The ties category is counting possible ties that could happen. It's not counting ties that have happened. So if a team says 1-0-3, they are 2-0 essentially. They won their first series. They're 1-0, and one series overall has been counted off of their ties total. A 1-1 scoreline for a round counts as a tie. So obviously, but that is why some teams have 4 ties and other teams have 3. But yeah, it'll be interesting for sure, because you definitely want that ties number to stay at probably 2 or 3 if you want to get a decent ending seed of this major. But really important for teams like Green Bay, who went 0-2 in their first round, to get a game win on the board. And maybe we'll check that out soon. But after this game is done, we'll be checking out another team. We just saw Bemidji, but we'll be checking out Bemidji and Omaha. They're just kicking off, I believe, but we haven't seen Omaha yet, so we'll have to take a look at over there. But so far, KC with the lead here in this second game. I think it's the second game. Could be the first game, but regardless, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Rochester do find a way to tie it up here and making things interesting. I think that's huge for them. I think even if you just get a game win against a good team like this, maybe if you go against some other teams later on, you'll just have that confidence. And starting off well, did they go 0-2 last round, Rochester?
They did not play. They had a bye. So this is their first series of the day.
They had the first bye. Oh, okay.
First series of the day for them. So interesting for sure to see how they respond to that, right? Because you didn't play round 1. Kind of got a little bit of a preview of how teams are looking, but I mean,
oh my goodness.
We don't talk about that goal.
I can hardly tell what even happened. Aqua got it out mid, and Hams was chasing behind it, but he forced it into Cole, who own goals it. And I don't think Rochester cares how they're getting their goals, but they got one. And oh my goodness, with only 30 seconds left, Stewie, we might be witnessing their first point of this season 11, and that would be exciting. Oh no, but a team bump comes out. Hams has to do some defending, but somehow Likewise got back to it. It's actually shooting the other way now. Their way. I can't believe that wasn't a goal the other end.
Ooh. Yeah, this is good possession by Rochester so far. It looks like they're going to win this game. If they hang on here, Aqua will get the shot. They're going to keep it up just for funsies. And I think they're going to win. They are. So,
wow.
I don't know what the score of that was, but Rochester gets a point. So,
they've done it, Stewie.
That could have been. That was game 1. Oh, wow.
Okay. Stewie, they've done it.
So
they've
Rochester
got their first point of the regular season.
First point of the regular season. Oh, that's right.
I think that's their first point. Period.
That's rough. Is it?
Hey, listen, you got to start somewhere. I think they're 0-3 right now.
It's their first point of the regular season. Shout out Rochester.
Let's go, Rochester. I'm proud of you. And they did it against that, in my opinion, one of the best teams. I think Hahabu, Knifein, and Cole are disgusting. They lost to a team week 1 with 2 subs, and now in the major, they're finally piecing things together with their first game they got to win. This might spell disaster for the rest of the tournament. We all doubted this team. We all were saying that Group B looked super weak. But honestly, now that they're beating teams like Hahabu, Knifein, and Cole, I think maybe they've been slept on a little bit too hard.
I mean, it's fair. It's a fair thing to say. I mean, it is a fair thing to say. I mean, that's 2 grand finalists from last season, so definitely possible. But jumping into the Omaha and Bemidji series. All right, then. It's 4-2 with 3 minutes left. We have got 6 goals in the first 2 minutes of the game. Amazing defense, guys, but I believe this is game 1. And Omaha currently topping Group B. They won their first series 2-0, but it was a forfeit win against Des Moines. But yeah, Omaha currently atop the group of Group B. As Rochester, they have their first win on the board so far. Still waiting on if they can win that game too. But we'll see what ends up happening here for sure in this series. But so far, Bemidji down by 2. And a demo in the midfield from Caden. That's an open net. And Omaha, not really a team that you see put up 5 goals on a game. But hey, they're doing whatever they want, right? They're they're taking control of this series and definitely taking this opening game.
Yeah, we saw in the regular season this Omaha team just be an unbelievably defensive team, but so far in this game, looks like they're the ones pressing, and so far, I mean, oh no, I thought I was about to say that's going to be one more, but Bemidji are going to have to find another look at the goal, and with only 2 minutes left, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they could still scrap together 3 more goals, but it's off the post again. Heartbreak for Bemidji so far. Mogi's got to try to send this ball once again. Mace is there, but he gets beat up by Caden, but oh my goodness, I felt like there should have been a couple goals right there.
Yeah, for sure. Good touch from Fluffy, but he says it red. Mogi will be destroyed on that challenge by Caden on the pack line. And Omaha, good double from Caden off the sidewall, and this Omaha team could be a team to sleep on throughout this season. I mean, the 6th seed, they've seen what they can do on defense, and we'll see what they do on offense here. I mean, they've got 5 goals up on the board, so far pretty darn good. Solus, oh, that's rough. Mogi luckily right there to help him out, but rough goal to give up if you're Omaha, because I mean that gives them a chance, definitely. With
especially with how many goals are going in.
For sure. I mean, that's 8 now on the day, so 8 on the game. Excuse me, but I guess you could say 8 on the day. It's only day 1 for these guys, but a demo from Mogi.
Ooh, oh my gosh!
Somehow they save. I don't know how they save. Half the time, I don't know how they save the ball, but getting a score report in. Looks to be Duluth 2-0ing Brainerd in that second round. So Brainerd, I mean, they go from a 2-0 win to a 2-0 loss at the hands of Duluth, and that's a huge goal for Mogi. This is a late game push here for Bemidji. They're close.
Mogi gets bumped by his own teammate. Call him Mogi 1. Kenobi absolutely uses the force. Fluffy shoots it out his own net. That was insane. Cutting that goal differential down to only 1. You got 30 seconds to figure this game out. What was that?
As it's excited to see what happens for sure, but a ton of time here for Bemidji to work with. They're double committing on their goal line as well. Makes a good first touch. Plays a bump to himself. Finds Mogi. Lines up the double, but can't get the triple. He went for it all and didn't get anything out of that. And as a result, Caden, I think, is going to hit down on the ground. Mogi towards net. Oh, please keep it up. Oh, please do it. He doesn't have enough boost. Oh, such a good play. Doesn't have enough boost to put it together, though. And that will be it, as Omaha will take the first point in that game. And we are going to hop over to Knights versus Flyers.
What a game 1.
Yeah, what a game 1. 9 goals. Don't see that very often. But we'll see what Knights versus Flyers is doing here. They could be already done. And I think they are. As Looks like KC and never mind, that was round 1. But I spelled town wrong. Their series might be done.
Ooh.
I cannot get into that
Wonder how
series,
that-
unfortunately.
wonder how that ended up.
Yeah, wonder how that one ended up.
I guess with a 9-goal game, it's just long enough to stall out 2 whole games. Jeez, they
Yeah.
must have gotten started a little bit late. To be fair,
Could have
that is
been. Yeah.
that is the tough thing with trying to line up 5 series at the same time, is that they're not all going to start at the same time. So if you have one long game, you might just miss out on the next one. But that's okay. That's why we got 5 games, and not even just 5 games. We got 8 games going at the same time. So
Definitely.
sure, we can hop in somewhere else.
As Sync. Oh boy. Oof. Green Bay is having a rough day.
Uh-oh.
They're 0-4. They just
Oh,
got
no.
2-0'd by St. Cloud as well. So that was the series we're going to hop into. That one's over.
Oh man,
Already.
you might. They might need to go perfect on the rest of the day, and even then, they might not make it up. I mean, the best they could do now is 4-4. Yeah,
Pretty sure, yeah. Which
that
I don't
might not
think
even be good
That might
enough.
not even be enough.
so you're just looking to get some points here now.
Yeah, pretty much. But next series we're going to check out. This one just kicking off. This is round 3. It'll be Bloomington versus Brainerd, but I want to update standings first. Yeah. I'm going to do something, Zoms.
Oh,
I'm going to
he's
throw
gonna do
this.
some things.
I'm going to throw this series on the board for everybody, and I'm going to mute us up, and we'll just let you guys view this series for now. But this is game number 1, round number 3, Bloomington and Brainerd. So we'll throw that one on the board for y'all, and as Bloomington opens the series, but Zoms will take a short break, and we'll BRB.
Got wandering eyes that I seem to follow. Can only stay still for some time. I've never aligned with the city's pulse, so that makes it easier to leave behind. I just wanna get to know brighter lights in Tokyo. Somehow hear it whispering that could be the one you're missing. I just wanna get to know brighter lights in Tokyo. Somehow hear it whispering I could be the one you're missing. Wondering why I don't know the feeling of walking through these streets like they're mine. Trying to find a way to the beginnings, somewhere in a different light. I just wanna get to know brighter lights in Tokyo. Somehow hear it whispering that could be the one you're missing. I just wanna get to know brighter lights in Tokyo. Somehow hear it whispering I could be the one you're missing.
She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make up, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, 'cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running, running back to you. Back to you. Back to can get me feeling lonely. Hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad.
All right, hopping back into it, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 2 between Duluth and St. Cloud in round number 3 of our FIFA E format. Currently, St. Cloud tops the group. Duluth is second, and you saw that 0-second goal from Sean to take game number 1. So huge win here for St. Cloud if they can pull it off. They are the obviously last seed, but busy on the air dribble bump. Will win the second game, and as a result, Duluth will get the 2-0 win, and that will be the game. And actually show you guys updated stuff for now. Here are the standings so far. In Group A, St. Cloud obviously were number 1. Now they're not going to be because they didn't get any points from that. But GG's all around, as Duluth will probably leapfrog them into first, which they have, I believe. And yes, indeed, Duluth now 5-1 with 8 credits. But credits, I did get clarification. Those are, if you win each group stage series of the 2 games is worth 3 credits. So that's why you see St. Cloud there. Now technically 2-2, they have 5 credits because why do they have only 5 credits? Confusion. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening here. But yeah, updated standings for you. Group B, Green Bay, the big story. They're 0-4 on the day. Rough for them, Psalms, but interesting to see for sure.
And now we're actually watching Duluth Superiors now win 4 straight games going up against, in my opinion, 2 of like the top teams. I mean, this is big implications for the rest of this event. I mean, Duluth might have a chance to pull ahead here if they go 2-0 again. I mean, they had 1 split and then 2 just dominating the other teams. I mean, I think the 2 teams that have now been gone 0-2 against them, they're gonna have a really tough time fighting with each other. And it's just Group A right now has been so close, but man, that might just be enough to separate them. But we're going to be getting into one of the lower two teams in the Group A right now that desperately needs some points. Bloomington and Green Bay Knights. They got to get some points here. They don't have too many chances left if they want to find themselves in that bracket. And Chega maybe overstepping his bounds, able to get that clear out. But is this game 1 or 2? Do you know?
I believe this is game 1. I'll have to check in. Hopefully Clash can give me a clarification as Trash opens the scoring. But they started at 3:55. That was 3 minutes ago. So I would assume this is game number 1. But this is still round 3 so far. And round 3 currently is... This is round 4, excuse me. We're into round 4. Still waiting on scores, but it looks like Des Moines is going to be forfeiting the whole major, so I am going to have to update the scores for them. But regardless, Omaha and Rochester currently playing as well, as Ches ties the game off of T-Shag's 50.
Oh, they just forfeited?
I believe they did. Well, they forfeited a while ago, but I didn't know. Had no idea about that.
It's tragic.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big chance to get a lot of points, and forfeiting that, it might just set a bad tone for the rest of the or for the rest of the season. And I saw that they had some points. It wasn't that they weren't playing at least at the beginning, but they must have had to go and couldn't field the roster or something, because I didn't think they were playing all too bad.
No, I mean they did beat Bemidji, and Bemidji's a top 3 seed. They're Bemidji's only loss. So I'm confused. It's one of those things, you know. It's interesting for sure, but Duluth, Duluth 5-1. They have 8 credits, looking to be one of the top 2 seeds. They're well on their way. They're hitting round 4 right now, playing. They're on a bye actually, so they're hanging out pretty good here. Top of Group A, on a bye currently. All right, Tricky. Cool goal, man. Nice shot. Good work.
Honestly, love that. It's such a good play. It's so mean, but
it works.
Is it effective? Yes, do it. You got to get these points, and these are the type of teams that you can't be losing to. And you can say that for both of them. Both of these teams need this win desperately right now. Both of them sitting towards the bottom of the group, and if you lose this game, you might as well call it GG's. Absolutely no hope. And in fact, gotcha. I don't know if there is a hope for Green Bay to get back into the tournament or into the bracket, but at the very least, they got to scrap together some points. But Bloomington, at the very least, I think this might be a must-win for them to crack the top 2.
I'm gonna agree here. They're 2-2 on the day so far. 4 credits. Oh man, this is the Green Bay Knights that we wanted to see. Like this is them. I mean, they can do this. I mean, they could easily take down this Bloomington team. I mean, this is a team that's a 3 seed, but definitely not playing up to snuff so far. But the story of the day, I mean, is, you know, after this series, we'll check out Omaha and Rochester. But the story of the day has been, you know, the middle of the pack teams, the teams that were not doing well in the regular season, really finding success here in Premier, and the teams that are, you know, 1 seed, 2 seed, whatever you want to say, are not having the greatest day. Except for Bemidji, I guess they're 4-2, but Green Bay 0-4 on the day so far. I mean, rough showing from them. I mean, see if they can get things done here in round 3, but they need to basically win out to have a chance. The max amount of points they can get is, I mean, after this, it'll be what, 6-4, right? If they were to win the last 3 series of the day with, actually, never mind, I think about it. They can only be 4-4. They have a bye.
Yeah. Only 8 points for yourself to divvy up, and with 4 of them going to a loss, it's tough already for you to
be 4-4,
even have a chance. Yeah, that's the best you can do.
They're likely only going to get 4 points for this major if they go 2-0 in the round so far, but looking like a Green Bay Knights win. So congratulations to them. But next series we're checking out, Omaha and Buffalo. Should be a fun one, as St. Cloud and Brainerd as well kicking off. But Omaha and Buffalo. Omaha and Rochester. Jeez. Can't speak English. But no idea where this series
Omaha and
will
Rochester.
be.
So the 2 seed and the 10 seed, is that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or okay, so this should on paper be a one-sided match, but who knows? On the day, we've been seeing some
Anything is possible,
crazy
right?
things. Really, but maybe not this one. 5-0 in the game that we just tuned into, but or
Whoa.
5-1. But there's still lots of time for Omaha to get more goals. Nearly, oh my goodness. And this is a team that we were used to only seeing defense from, stuck on their defensive line, doing extremely well, but they were trapped in their half, and whenever they got counterattacks, it was super successful, but I mean, with 5 goals, they can't be doing just defense. I mean, I can see on the scoreboard that they do got at least 3 saves, but I mean, this Omaha team, from what we've seen today, has been high offense, which is just insane.
Yeah, the other game we watched from them, they had 5 goals as well, so
Yeah.
they're not struggling to score here in these games. As a good challenge from Voltashire there, but it'll be exciting to see what we get nevertheless. As it's interesting for sure. As likewise in Caden, we'll meet here on a challenge, likely on the side. Caden just decides to back away. I mean, why challenge? But this is going back round. This is round 3. So these guys starting a little bit later than everybody else, finishing a little bit later than everybody else. I don't know if this is game 2. I think it is. But regardless, this would be a win for Omaha anyways. They'll get points for it and credits, I think. Excuse me. As looks her likewise to line up a touch, but can't get anything on it. Hams plays to himself. Decides to stay away from it. And this one just counting down. Counting down the seconds here. As probably hop out of this one. 6-1. Yeah, this one is good and over. As that will be the 6th on the board for Omaha. We will hop out of that series, as those guys are well on their way to being over with. And we'll get a
pretty
score
brutal
update for those guys. But brutal win for Omaha there. Kind of beating up on the rhythm. But
Yeah, very, very commanding. But that's what you got to do. When you're the higher team playing those teams under you. Those are the games that you have to really dominate and do well in. That you're expected to. But if those are the games that you're splitting or losing, you are most likely not going to be seeing a top 2 seed. So it's good for Omaha that they are, as expected, showing up and doing well. Because if you're one of the teams that don't do that, you might just lose your spot. But we're transitioning into this other series here. St. Cloud Flyers and Brainerd victory. And Brainerd, initially starting off extremely hot, but now that they're coming off an 0-2 loss. But if there's ever a team that can regain and get back their footing, it's going to be Brainerd here. But
this is round 4. So we're close to ending. Yep, this is round 4. We're close to ending this FIFA E format. We're close. We're very, very close. So after that, we'll set up the bracket. Shouldn't take us too long. But we're going to look to close out these rounds as quick as possible. So guys, get in your series as fast as you possibly can. As it's only 2 games. So a lot of Rocket League, though, today. A lot of people being, asked to play a good amount of time here. As we've been going on an hour so far. And
non-stop as well.
no, for sure.
I mean, it's essentially, oh my goodness, ceiling pitch from Wolf, but it's essentially you play your 2 games and you load up the next lobby you're already playing. There's not really much time for breaks. You just got to keep playing. It's a test of endurance, and Whitlock is holding on, finding himself at the back of the net in the first goal of this game. Great outplay, but Wolf, I think, had a free ball here, just couldn't quite reach that. Maybe misread that Whitlock was going to go for a double, but Whitlock, being patient as ever, just taps it in the open net and finding Brainerd that 1-goal lead early.
And Brainerd, they need this game. Huge goal from Lubick here. They need this game. They are 3-3 so far, trying to catch up to Duluth. I mean, they're in a giant tie with this St. Cloud team who's actually above them. They're 2-2. These two teams basically identical in record. And Bloomington, a team that is also knocking on the door as well.
So this is essentially a must-win game for Brainerd right here, because if they lose this, that's going to separate the gap even further and make it impossible for them to get into the bracket. And as long as I believe St. Cloud go even here, they're fine with that. This might be a 2-0. Like, this might be a necessity that they 2-0, because I'm pretty sure Brainerd still have to sit out a round.
Yes, they do, and their last round actually is the round they're sitting out. So they are they know they want to win this one. They have to win this one, because you're sitting out the last round. You don't want your fate of moving on in this major to be in somebody else's hands. That cannot be the case here. As unfortunately, Des Moines forfeiting the rest of the major, so their points already decided. Bemidji will get a 2-0 win in round 3. They'll move on to round 4 against Rochester, who is finishing up their series against Omaha in round 3. So waiting on those guys to start. But Knights and Maulers, I mean, we saw they were having a close series. We left that one after game 1, and don't remember who won it, but Wolf with a nice flip reset to stay behind the ball and get that goal. As St. Cloud team, they came to play today. I don't know what it is. They ate a different cereal this morning than what they've been eating in the past, because it really is the difference so far for me, for sure, is this performance by this 9 seed. They are having a good day for sure. But
yeah,
going toe to toe with the one right now.
Yeah, I think like you said earlier, that this team, although the 9 seed, they are not the 9th seed team. Both games that we've seen from them on stream have been extremely good games. They just happen to lose out just barely, and all the games that we've seen them play have been extremely solid. But that's not solid play. Mistouch in the midfield, and I really do rate this team. But you also got to rate the other team on the other side of the field, the 1 seed. Brainerd, fighting to stay alive. They absolutely need these wins to stay in this tournament, as they are trailing. And, oh man, I mean, this is the team you got to do it against, the team that's ahead of you, the team that's holding your spot. You have to 2-0 this team, in my opinion, to stay relevant.
As Omaha will get the score in report. Omaha with the 2-0 win over Rochester. So that leapfrogs Omaha to 5-1 in Group B, having a darn good day for them. Those guys over there in Group B, basically the top of Group B so far, as they're 2-0, and they'll take on a bye actually in round number 4. So they'll be waiting. See what ends up happening here, but that puts Rochester at 3-3, chasing KC and Bemidji. But this game pretty darn close here. We'll see if St. Cloud can tie us up. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
You have to tie it up soon here, but oh my goodness, that shot's going to be a bit high. That could have been the equalizer. Brainerd fighting to hold on, but the net is just open. Sweet wasn't quite ready for the shot. Wolf has no boost to recover, and now Brainerd doubling up their lead. And Sweet, that little turn in will just give Whitlock the chance he needs to fire on, and with no boost, he can't quite get that touch. And geez, 40 seconds left, and Brainerd might be doing exactly what they need here late in the tournament, and that's getting a win over St. Cloud, which is huge.
In Green Bay, they split actually with Bloomington, so not the result you were looking for there. Bloomington do get a point back, but they are so far have Bloomington has split both rounds that they have played in. As Whitlock will make this 5-2. He's having himself a game, has 4 goals so far in this game. I mean, to see there, but it's interesting for sure. As we're finishing up round number 4, we're going on to round 5 very soon, and
Wait, Sweet's giving up.
I mean, it is. Yeah, there's not much time, but regardless, we'll
Still not even moving your car. That is no signs
good.
of life, and
not a good sign.
that's usually not a good sign, especially when you can't give up hope right now. I mean, I think that's just that might have been game. They're leaving. Oh wait, how'd the first game go? I thought that was game 1 for some reason.
I thought it was too. We'll get a score report in here in a second.
Yeah,
but
that game right there might have way larger implications than we thought. That might have been to go even or to go 2-0. Oh my goodness, I got to know.
As we'll get the score report in here for in a second. Brainerd and St. Cloud. I know St. Cloud didn't win both games, obviously, and they're typing, so we'll see what ends up happening here in a second. As that was a 2-0. So a big win there for Brainerd.
Goodness.
They're moving up to 5-3, and they're close to getting into group stage
They
or
have to
out of
sit
group
now,
stage.
though. They have to sit now.
They do.
Do they have a chance to make it still? Oh man, this is intense.
For sure. Round 5 slowly going to start here in a second. As Casey and Omaha kicking off soon. Knights and Superiors, Maulers and Flyers. I think the Knights are effectively eliminated, unfortunately. Maulers need to beat St. Cloud to even have a chance to try and catch up to Brainerd, but I don't even think they mathematically can now with Brainerd at 5-3. Duluth, if they lose to Green Bay, that could impact their seeding for sure and who they play. Omaha and Bemidji in a good spot, but Bemidji and Bemidji has a bye in the 5th round, and they're playing Rochester right now. And kind of want to see where that is at, as those guys kicked off 4 minutes ago, so I'm guessing that is still going on, as that one has big implications, because if Bemidji loses that series, they and KC beats Omaha, they're basically out. As this one being dominated by Bemidji so far, as they are currently up 3-1 in, I believe, the first game, and it's now 3-2. Okay, they have a chance. They have a shot.
Okay.
But round 5, this is still round 4. We're finishing round 4. This is the last match of round 4. Then we go into round 5, but a couple of teams already starting their round 5 series. So next up, we'll check out another match in Group A. That being Green Bay and Duluth, because Duluth could lose their spot in that first seed if they do not win that series. But it'd be interesting to see for sure.
Now, this is interesting. I'm not entirely sure if Rochester has a chance to make the bracket anymore, but they might have a chance to completely ruin Bemidji's chance.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
To ruin Bemidji over, and
that's kind of where we're at, Zoms, right?
Yeah. You're in a state where maybe you can't make it anymore, but you can scrap together a couple more wins, and you
get some more points.
Can absolutely hurt another team terribly. You can, if you get another, even just one win at this point, one game win can be the difference. I mean, we saw it earlier where Rochester got their first point. That one game might be the difference later on. We'll see it when all the points start settling in and when all the differences, but Ham's holding on, keeping this game maybe relevant. Mogi trying to press in and shut them out, but they does meet a wall, but the wall only took about one hit before it broke down as Mace just throws that goal into the back of the net, making this game 2 and surely securing Bemidji this game. Giving themselves another point.
As I don't know if this is, I'm pretty sure it's game 1. As Bloomington and St. Cloud kicking off. We'll check that one out later on, but after this game is over, this on a short one, we'll hop over to Knights Superiors as, a good game there for the Lumberjacks as they're up 1-0 in that series. I think it was game 1. I'm pretty sure it was. But statement win for them because, you don't want to give the teams that are below you life, so you want to make sure that you kick them down the mountain and make sure they stay down the mountain.
For sure.
Next series, Green Bay and Duluth. As
it's just getting started too. They just joined the lobby.
Just getting started. Yeah, wow, good timing for us here as we basically have a kickoff to start this game. And interesting to see what we get so far here.
And this is important, right?
This is important for Duluth. They need to make sure that they don't give up anything here. If they go 0-2 and lose to this Green Bay team, that's obviously points for Green Bay, but at the same time, if Brainerd wins, I mean they don't play, but Brainerd could overtake them. I don't know if they can do it by credits. Now that I think about it, I think Duluth might have locked up the 1 seed, but I can't tell at the moment.
Yeah, but settling in here, Duluth desperately need at least one win here to at least secure the 2 seed, if not the 1. Either way, you got to win here. But Green Bay looking to shut their dreams down of making the bracket, also trying to maybe secure a couple more points for themselves. But it's definitely not going to be easy. Both these teams have been, playing not how we would expect. I think going into this, at least on paper, Bloomington. Oh, also the team. I'm just realizing the team names in game are not correct, but that's okay. But Duluth on paper should have been a team that was struggling more, but now seeing them right up to the top and Green Bay, who have been really just not performing on the day that we are used to seeing, but now in an important game, they might step up and play with their normal team, but you got a lot of work to be done here, and Forrest trying to break the ice, and so far it's been a really close game, and I mean, this is once again, I've said this a couple times now, this is not a Knights team that we expected to be on the bottom of the bracket. Crazy save on the goal line from Tricky. 50-50 comes out, and as we settle into this series, Stewie, I mean, we're going to see some big implications, not only in this game, but also other series as well. Tricky will be the one to break the ice, but what a pass off the corner here.
And I have news. Omaha and Duluth are locked in as the 1 seeds. They have earned enough credits and enough points, enough credits essentially, to be locked in as the 1 seeds in Group A and Group B. If KC beats Omaha in round 5, then Bemidji would be out. Rochester does have a chance, but they have to beat Bemidji, and they have to 2-0 them, which is technically impossible now because Bemidji won game 1. So technically Rochester is out.
Everyone put the Fs in the chat for Rochester, but now we got to look forward for this game. You said Duluth is confirmed seed 1, or
Duluth is confirmed 1 seed, yes.
Oh wow, so they don't even care how they do this series, but
you don't want to lose it. I mean, you don't want to,
Absolutely not. It's 2 more points on the table, of course, but I mean, they might not even know this right now. They might not know that they're confirmed 1 seed, but I think it's that might be good knowledge. It also might be good to not know that you're still fighting for your life to get 2 more points. And I mean, we don't know how important 2 points might be in the later season. So you just want to try your absolute hardest to get these points. Not necessarily for seeding anymore, but I mean, you never know. Even though you probably don't think that this will be a team near the bottom, but you might need it for seeding for Major 2, for LAN. So you got to keep on fighting.
For sure, and we'll kind of see how these go down, but still no score report for Bemidji Rochester. That's round number 4, and thankfully Rochester has that forfeit win over Des Moines in the last round, and Bemidji they don't play in the final round, so that will speed us up for sure, because those guys, I believe, are a step behind us here. Is Busy with a good flip reset to tie the game. 2-1 here for take the lead, 2-1 here for this Duluth team. A good shot from Busy to get that lead back.
Yeah, a mechanical player like him, given too much space, he will just get the free flip, and given how close he was to the net and how slow the challenge was, it's basically impossible for the defender to save that. Trash now taking his hand at the backboard. Busy is there. We'll leave it off to Sean, but maybe not the touch he wanted. Busy's able to get back to it and try to shut them down here, and Green Bay Knights are trying to fight back here. That's a good shot, but it's not going to be good enough. Crimsix keeping the pressure, but the ball is tough to control. Trash now taking it. Putting that over to the sidewalls. Forrest securing the boost, but Tricky's got the clear. But it's only going to be met by Busy in the corner. Just under a minute left in this game, and Busy stalling out even more of it. Now to Sean. Sean taking his crack at the net. Maybe not a great shot, but it is going to put the defenders on ice, and then going to make them waste even more boost. They're slowly reaching the bottom of their tanks. They got to do even more defending. And with only 30 seconds left here, Stewie, they still need one just to even try securing a couple more points for them.
27 seconds. This is game 1, I believe, so still a chance here for Green Bay, but they got to get one really quickly, and it's not looking likely. Not really any boost in the tank for any of these guys, as Trash will sit behind that ball. They get a demo from Crimsix, but again, they just can't get past that last defender for Duluth. Sean 50's tricky, but it's not looking likely for this Green Bay team, who they just had struggles all night so far, all afternoon. As that will be Duluth's win there. But they are locked for the bracket, so we will see Duluth no matter what. And
they called GG's and leave, so it must have been over. That is game 2.
That must have been game 2, yeah.
We are getting close to the end now before our bracket. So that super duper confirms them now for the 1 seed. If it wasn't already before.
That was a split. So Green Bay got one against the 1 seed from Group A. They got one. That's
good for them.
That's good for them, definitely. I think it was a split. Bemidji 2-0's Rochester. So Rochester, I believe, based on that win, is out. They are done. That moves Bemidji up actually into the top seed. I don't know how that's possible.
Does that somehow lock out Green Bay now? I think Green Bay are no longer able to make it either.
They're out, unfortunately.
But they got themselves a point. So you can't be too mad at that. And just figuring out the last few. We still got round 5 for us, I believe.
Yeah.
And is there much that can change now? Is there a team that can overtake one or the other? Probably.
Not much.
Not much.
Omaha is not locked at 1. That is not confirmed as Bemidji leapfrogs them. We'll update the standings after round 5, but Bemidji is not locked, or Omaha is not locked at round 1, but Bemidji does not play in that last round. And depending on how Omaha and Kansas City goes, that could impact the seeding in group Group B, excuse me. Bloomington and St. Cloud going on currently. We might want to check that one out, but I don't think either of those guys can overtake Brainerd. I think it would be a tie, but it would then go to, after credits, it would go to game wins, which currently It would be tied then, and then it would go to head-to-head, which Bloomington and St. Cloud, have they played each other? Well, depending on who wins that. Check out.
Yeah, Brandon's going to be tough to overthrow here. Sitting at 5-3 for win-losses, and man.
Basically, I believe Bloomington just needs to 2-0 that series, and then they would have the head-to-head over St. Cloud, but they... Ooh, overtime.
Oh yeah, because it's because they don't have any losses technically. They only have ties.
And Bloomington Brainerd tied. But initial seed will then come down to Brainerd taking the tiebreaker. So I don't know.
We'll have to cross that road if we get there. For now, we just gotta play see what's going on in front of you. And right now, got KC Outlaws against Omaha Buffalo. Big series. These are two powerhouse teams really looking to get themselves. And this match might have huge implications. I'm just realizing these guys are fighting for the second seed in Group B right now. As is the first seed, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. So, and it's overtime. We don't know if this is game 1 or 2, but that might just do it. Haha, Boo just barely shut down at the gate. And as this one's cleared away, Nightfang's going to get a chance to secure this ball, but it's cleared quickly and met again. Haha Boo is going to be the first one to strike here. Fluffy gets a easy clear out, but it's met by Cole to Nightfang. Nightfang pops it back in, and his boost totals are running low. We're getting into a familiar spot for this Omaha Buffalo team, and that's low boost on defense. They're looking to break out here, though. Caden running ahead for a demo, but Nightfang cuts this play off, and although doesn't do much on the ball, gives Haha Boo a chance to challenge. And Stewie, this might be the most important game of the night.
It is, and if Omaha wins, I believe they get the 1 seed, and that would knock Bemidji down to the 2, and KC would be out. If KC wins, then we have a implication here to figure out who is the 2 seed and who's the 1, because I believe if KC wins, then Bemidji would technically be the 1 seed coming out of Group B. But we need to see how this overtime ends up, because that could tell us the entire story here, and see what happens. Implications here in massively for these two teams. But I want to figure out, Zoms, did these guys play in the regular season? Now that I think about it, I kind of want to look into that. If
I feel like they might have.
Omaha and KC played. And they have not. As trying to figure out when they do play. As they don't play until week 7, which would be on June 28th. So these guys have not seen each other at all. This is the first rendition of KC versus Omaha in season 11 in the year 2025. So these two have never faced each other. And this is arguably one of the better offensive teams in KC against one of the better defensive teams in Omaha. And so far, the overtime is reigning truth to that. 3.5 minutes. As this is a round number 5 series. So winner of this, very important to who takes home the seeds and who gets out of the group. KC basically have to win this. They can't afford a loss here, because if they do, they're out. They have to close the gap here. And
oh
Omaha,
my goodness,
they're fighting for the 1 seed, possibly a better matchup in the semifinal. But interesting for sure.
You certainly can't say they're not fighting 4 minutes into overtime. Volt's going to get a chance on net. Habu saves that shot away. Now Fluffy pressing. Nightfang already up. Shuts that play down temporarily, but Caden's trying to turn this around. Gets a flip reset. Trying to make it another, but Habu finds a nice time to challenge. Fluffy cutting this down and trying to start some offense, but he gets bumped off this play, and now 2 of them commit. Giving Cole a chance. to get a touch, but it's a bit heavy. Habu just ripped this one to the corner. Tough bounce out. Fluffy can't quite read it. Full Destroyer's in an awkward spot with full boost all, though. Able to clear this one back to the corner, and we're approaching a whole additional game played in overtime. 5-minute mark. Habu trying to close us out before we get there, but it's going to be stopped once again in front of the Omaha goal. Cole chips it into the midfield, knifing with the shot, saved away by Caden. The counterattack might be here. We're diving into the corner. Volt Destroyer chips it in mid, but quickly shut down and to a 5 minutes of overtime. What are we having here? They truly are
pass.
fighting for their life.
Oh,
but
it's there.
pass is gonna do it.
And that's huge because that's a game for Omaha, and I think that might have been the 2-0 there as Cole hops out. Habulu leaves as well. I think that might be Omaha 2-0. We'll get a score
game.
confirmation whenever they send it in. But that's massive. That is absolutely huge, as we'll see what ends up happening with the results from that.
Wow.
But I mean, these matches have all been close. I mean, how many games have we tuned into where it's a 1-goal game and everything is just on a knife's edge today? I mean, even the lower seeded teams pushing the top seeded teams to the brink of elimination. But
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
it is. It's just like you go into this with confidence and you think, oh, we're good, right? We'll be fine. And then all of a sudden there's a team that is a lower seed than you by a long shot, and they're hitting every shot against you, just playing their best Rocket League, and you don't know where it comes from. I don't know. It's one of those things. But
well played, Omaha. Getting that win, and now we have to. You said before we have to do that now. The tiebreaker between them and
we have to
the
figure out
Lumberjacks,
what's
since
going
they're
on
both
here.
6
'Cause
they're both 6-2. They both are. Oh, Omaha seemed to just pop into the lead here. I don't know if that is.
that was a split. Okay, so Omaha won that second game, and KC must have won game number 2. Yes, it was a split.
Oh wow.
So, and it looks like with
Whoa!
just enough points, it's
No
going to
way.
be Omaha that moves on, and KC is out. As on a knife's edge in Group B, that came down to who got that last seed. As Bemidji and Omaha, and it's Bemidji that wins that tiebreaker. I believe, as they were the higher seed originally.
Oh my goodness, no way.
So
It
that
came
determines the
down to
matchups.
the
Yeah, it comes
wire.
out to the wire. Yeah, it's your seed.
Absolutely insane, and to think Kansas City is right there. That last game we just saw on about almost going on
KC
to
would have
6
2-0.
minutes
They
of
would have been
overtime.
in. Yeah, that'd have been close.
Yeah, about 6 minutes of overtime to decide the seeding. I don't think it would have changed Bemidji being number 1, but oh my goodness. Crazy outcome right there, but we have our bracket made now with from Group A, Duluth Superiors and Brainerd Victory making it out as the top 2, and in Group B, Bemidji Lumberjacks and Omaha Buffalo. Now they're going to play off in the bracket, and man,
Superior's Buffalo, Lumberjacks, and Victory. I think that's what it is. We're waiting on Maulers and Flyers to finish their series. But I'm trying to update the group stage currently so we can get a final view of that. But it's looking rough for Green Bay this week. Just didn't play well. I mean, overall, I think in this group stage just wasn't meant to be. It's one of those things of, some teams are just series teams and some teams are major teams. And, you can say what you want about it, but that's sometimes just how it plays out. Is some teams play well on the day, some teams don't, Do what you can, do everything you possibly can. But
Well. I think the bracket is just getting formed now. I think we already know the matchups as well, but what a showing from. I just want to shout out. I mean, well played to the Deuce Superiors, going in as the 5th seed, somehow making it out now as the 1 seed, I believe. Well, maybe not the 1 seed overall in the overall season, but coming out of Group A that we were predicting that was the harder group of the two. I mean, with St. Cloud Flyers and the Bloomington Maulers that are somehow the 9 and 7 seeds, absolutely disgusting, and geez, absolutely crazy work. And we just joined this game as it was ending in overtime. Don't quite know how that went, but Chega throws up the GGs and they're already out of here.
Yeah.
How'd that game end up?
We'll see.
We don't know.
We'll see what ends up happening there. I truly don't know, what the score of that series was, so we'll maybe get a confirmation here in a bit, but I'm not sure what the score of that series was, but that determines
apparently
our
2-0
groups in Group
Bloomington
B.
Maulers.
Oh. So that effectively eliminates.
My goodness.
Eliminates St. Cloud. They had a good day though. I will say they picked up some points. Did their best.
It might be close here too for Brainerd.
Brainerd and but I think Brainerd's gonna take the. Yeah, Brainerd I think takes the tiebreaker. Yeah, by wins. So Brainerd has 2 wins and Bloomington has 1.
Yeah.
Which is all of the determination. It's everything at this point. Is got to get those game wins and
even with Brainerd getting that loss, even though they went 0-2, the fact that they went 2-0 on 2 other series is just so much more impactful.
I mean, that's the difference.
So much
at the
more
end of the day.
impactful.
That's the reason why we're calling them as the team that moves on. But we'll show the bracket for you guys. I don't think I'm gonna be able to stream it, unfortunately. I'm out of time, as it's one of those days again where I'm unfortunately working, and I cannot get fired. Not be a good idea.
It is pretty fair.
But we'll show the points here in a second. But how the group stage ended out as a rough day for some teams, a great day for others. I will say though that there were a couple teams that impressed me. St. Cloud was one of them. They came out and did a pretty darn good job. I mean, did their best, and they pushed every team they played to the brink, and you can't hate on that. You really can't. But I believe this is the updated group stage, and it is coming in right now. As this is how we ended out, friends. Group B. Lumberjacks and Buffalo making out. Group A, Superiors and Victory. 3 teams below were eliminated, and you see how close that Group B was. They were on a knife's edge. I mean, 1 game. Brainerd and Bloomington, literally just by 1 credit was the difference. And rough for sure for these teams, but it's Zoms, story for me was Green Bay, the 3 seed. Couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, tough living for them. But I mean, well played to Duluth Superiors, Brainerd Victory, Bemidji Lumberjacks, and Omaha Buffalo. I mean, they just performed so well today, and they deserved it. And tough living. I mean, I absolutely love to see Bloomington Maulers run today, even with Chega subbing up. I mean, excellent performance. Still got yourself a lot of points, I believe. So you can't be too upset coming away with, I believe, 5 points. So you basically got yourself an additional win on the series, or a win on the regular season there. So it's not entirely terrible. I mean, you gotta be pretty happy about that. And same with a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams are running away here with a couple of points, but fortunately for Des Moines having to forfeit the entire event, they are the only ones that are going to be stung with no points. But well played for a lot of these teams, and we even saw some surprising. I mean, not just Rochester getting their forfeit win, but they even got their first actual win against a team. So you got to be happy about that. You got a couple surprising teams that showed out and really popped out, but going to be transitioning here as we come to a close here.
I mean, I'll show you guys the bracket, but yeah, unfortunately, I have to go to work. Luigi and Brainerd. Have to check out. Make sure that that's actually correct, and it is. Interesting for sure. As it's one of those things you do your best, but sometimes it just isn't enough. And here's your bracket. Duluth taking on Buffalo. That is, I believe, the 1 versus the 2 from Group A and Group B. And I have to slide over. It is. And then the 1 versus the 2 from Group A and Group B in the bottom side, which is Bemidji and Brainerd. Interesting for sure. Duluth and Buffalo, Bemidji and Brainerd, and Zoms. Close match for sure. Close day overall, I guess you could say. But I'll ask your predictions. Who do you think wins those 2 series?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm leaning towards Duluth all the way. I have to have them winning the whole thing, but I think the one that's going to be meeting them in the finals. Man, it's hard to predict against Brainerd, man. I think I actually might be going with Brainerd. I think it's going to be Brainerd and Duluth in the finals. I don't think there's going to be any slouch of series, and I think Duluth will take it. I am actually going to go stream that. So
okay. Hey, that's I love that.
I'm setting it up, but unfortunately, with your work schedule, it is what it is. What can you do?
Exactly. What can you do about it? But well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. 'Twas fun. Week number 4 starts next week, obviously. No breaks for us, so we don't get any breaks ever. But thanks for watching, and appreciate you guys hopping in for the FIFA E format. It was always fun. And we'll see you guys next week for some more MCS action, more than likely.